What if you discovered that, under the right circumstances, you could be persuaded to harm a stranger, betray your morals, or even become someone you barely recognize? What if the very fabric of your personality or fears, your kindness, your obedience could be rewired with a few simple tricks? The human mind is a puzzle, and for over a century, psychologists have tried to solve it by pushing people and sometimes ethics to their limits. Today, we journey into the heart of the most fascinating and sometimes disturbing psychology experiments in history. These are the studies that changed everything we thought we knew about ourselves. Part 1: The Stanford Prison Experiment. It's 1971. In the basement of Stanford University, a group of ordinary college students is about to be transformed. Some will become guards, others prisoners. None of them know that their lives and the world's understanding of human nature are about to change forever. Half are prisoners, stripped of their names, given numbers, and locked in cells. The guards are told to maintain order, no further instructions. Psychologist Philip Zimbardo wanted to answer a simple but chilling question. Is it our personalities that make us cruel, or can the situation itself turn us into something we're not? The prisoners, once confident, become anxious, depressed, and submissive. The line between role play and reality blurs. 24 volunteers are split at random. Half are guards, given uniforms and sunglasses. Within days, the guards' behavior spirals. They humiliate prisoners, deprive them of food and sleep, force them to perform degrading tasks. In a quiet Yale laboratory, Stanley Milgram set out to answer a question born in the aftermath of World War II. How far will ordinary people go in order to harm another person? Their task: administer electric shocks to a learner for every wrong answer. Shockingly, 65% of participants deliver what they believe are lethal shocks, simply because they're told to do so. The shocks aren't real, but the participants don't know that. But it also reminds us, awareness is the first step to resistance. In 1920, John Watson and Rosalie Rayner set out to prove that emotions could be conditioned, just like Pavlov's dogs. In the right environment, anyone can become a monster or a victim. The experiment, planned for 2 weeks, is shut down in just 6 days. The psychological harm is too great. The lesson: the echoes of Stanford still haunt us in prisons, in schools, in any place where power can corrupt. Part 2: The Milgram Experiment. But then, Watson strikes a steel bar, producing a terrifying noise. After several pairings, Albert begins to cry at the mere sight of the rat, and soon, anything white and furry. Just a decade earlier, another experiment shocked the world. This was not just a mimicry, it was learning through observation. Volunteers are told they're helping with a study on learning, but the lesson remains. Our minds are malleable, for better or worse. Many hesitate, visibly distressed, but the authority of the white coat is overwhelming. The Milgram experiment revealed the frightening power of obedience and how easily good people can be led to do bad things. Instead, he asked, can children learn aggression simply by watching others? Others saw the adult hit, kick, and shout at the Bobo doll. Would the real participant conform to the group's incorrect choice? Afterward, the children were left alone with the same doll. Part 3: The Little Albert Experiment. Imagine being able to create a fear that lasts a lifetime all in the mind of a child. They placed 9-month-old little Albert in a room with a white rat. At first, he's curious, unafraid. Halfway through, a person in a gorilla suit walked right through the scene, stopping, beating their chest, then leaving. This phenomenon, called inattentional blindness, shows how focused attention can cause us to miss even the most obvious things. The Little Albert Experiment showed that fear can be learned, and that early experiences can shape our emotional lives in profound ways. The ethics of the experiment are deeply troubling. Albert was never desensitized, and his fear may have lasted 4 years. Part 4: The Bobo Doll Experiment. In the early 1960s, psychologist Albert Bandura challenged the prevailing belief that children's behavior was shaped only by rewards and punishments. Bandura's answer came from a simple yet powerful experiment involving a large inflatable clown doll called Bobo. Children were divided into groups. Some watched an adult calmly play with toys. The results were clear. Children who observed aggressive behavior were far more likely to imitate it, even inventing new ways to attack the doll. The Bobo doll study sparked debate still relevant today. How much does violent media affect children? Can exposure to aggression lead to real-world violence? While the answers remain complex, Bandura's work laid the foundation for understanding the powerful role of modeling in human behavior. Part 5: The Asch Conformity Study. How far would you go to fit in? In the 1950s, Solomon Asch set out to explore the invisible force of social pressure. Asch gathered groups of participants and asked them a straightforward question. Which of 3 lines matched the length of a standard line? The answer was obvious, but here is the catch. All but one participant were Confederates instructed to give the wrong answer. Astonishingly, about 75% of participants conformed at least once, choosing the wrong line just to fit in. from fashion trends to political opinions. The Ash experiment explains why we sometimes follow the crowd, even when we know better. Part 6. The Invisible Gorilla Experiment. Have you ever missed something obvious? In 1999, psychologists Daniel Simons and Christopher Chebris revealed a startling truth about human attention. Participants were asked to count how many times players passed a basketball. Nearly half the participants didn't notice the gorilla at all. This has profound implications from eyewitness testimony to everyday life, teaching us humility about our own awareness. Part 7. The Magical Number 7. How many pieces of information can your brain hold at once? In 1956, cognitive psychologist George Miller proposed a magical number, 7 plus or minus 2. Miller's research showed that most people can hold about 7 chunks of information in their short-term memory, whether digits, letters, or words. This discovery explained why phone numbers are 7 digits long, and why we struggle to remember long strings of random information. Today, this principle guides everything from user interface design to education, helping us optimize how we learn and communicate. Part 8. Ethical Reflections. These experiments expanded our understanding of human nature, but at what cost? Participants suffered stress, humiliation, and lasting psychological effects. Many of these studies would never pass today's ethical review boards. Modern psychology balances curiosity with compassion, using strict guidelines to ensure that the pursuit of knowledge does not come at the expense of human well. Part 9. What these experiments teach us about ourselves. From obedience to conformity, aggression to memory, these experiments reveal the complex forces shaping our behavior. They remind us that we are not just products of our environments, our social contexts, and our histories. Understanding these experiments helps us recognize our vulnerabilities and our strengths. It empowers us to make conscious choices, resist harmful pressures, and nurture empathy. The human mind remains a frontier of mystery, but through these landmark studies, we glimpse the threads that connect us all. But the legacy of these experiments endures, a testament to the power of science to illuminate the darkest corners of the human soul. The story of psychology is far from over. New technologies, new questions, and new challenges await. So next time you wonder why you think, feel, or act the way you do, remember, the answers lie deep within the mind. Labyrinthine. The journey to understand it is the greatest adventure of all.